So, to recap, the main developments this morning. New York City's firefighters sent to the World Trade Center are dead. We may not know the full extent of the fatalities for many days. The civilian total is expected to rise into the many of thousands. Overnight, American President George Bush sought to reassure his people with the words, "They cannot crush the foundation of America." Simon Israel reports on the tragic attacks that America and the world will never forget.
The victims were in airplanes, were in their offices. Secretaries, businessmen and women, military and federal workers, moms and dads, friends and neighbors. Thousands of lives were suddenly ended by evil, despicable acts of terror.
The opening words of a president addressing a traumatized nation last night in the wake of such apocalyptic scenes. Officials say they're prepared to deal with thousands upon thousands of bodies. A thick mist of dust has shrouded a huge rescue mission which has suffered its own casualties. Estimates of 300 firefighters and 30 police officers, who were all among the first to the scene to help, are missing. They're believed to have been buried under buildings which crumbled in the aftermath.
I feel terrible for the people that we lost, some of whom I talked to just 15 minutes before we lost them. And the city is going to survive. We're going to get through it. Overnight,
there have been signs of people still alive, trapped or buried in the wrecked buildings. Cries for help have reached the outside world via mobile phones. 2,000 rescue workers are there, but the area is vast and dangerous. Official maps and building plans are of simply no use. The wreckage is so absolute, everything has to start from scratch. And while there's a desperate scramble to save life in New York, there's now a quantifiable reality of death at the Pentagon in Washington, the nerve center of the US military. Fires have been burning through the night along the scar left by the impact of a third hijacked passenger plane. 850 dead and another 800 missing. Details of this calculated offensive are only just emerging.
American Airlines Flight 11 departed Boston for Los Angeles, hijacked by suspects armed with knives. This plane crashed into the World Trade Center. United Airlines Flight 175 departed Boston for Los Angeles, was hijacked and crashed into the World Trade Center. American Airlines Flight 77 departed Washington Dulles for Los Angeles, was hijacked and crashed into the Pentagon. United Airlines Flight 93 departed Newark for San Francisco, was hijacked and crashed in Shanksville, Pennsylvania.
Thousands of FBI agents are forging America's response to exact revenge. Crucial information about the worst terrorist attack in American history has come from calls made by a flight attendant and 2 passengers on 3 of the planes before they crashed. Each one told a similar story of hijackers wielding knives, taking control of the aircraft and somehow guiding them to their target.